Starting up a code sesh here. Couple of things. First, though, I want to give a shout out to Good Mama Mama. That's who we're listening to right now. It's Good Mama Mama. Find them at soundcloud.com/goodmamamama. That's GOODMAMAMAMA. Mama Mama. This track is CPRDNMNYRMX. That is to say, it's covered in money remix without any bells. One moment. Okay, anyways, go check them out at soundcloud.com. I just shut off the tracked mode. Tracked mode is this script that runs on DronesoundTV, and it does stuff like changes the themes and plays music and stuff occasionally. So I shut that off so you'll be able to hear me. Apologies if you've caught some of the previous code sessions. Sometimes I forget to turn off the sound effects. And as always, let me apologize in advance for my awful microphone skills. Okay, so I said I was going to work on some, I have to turn the resolution way down here. I was just thinking, I want to work on some back-end stuff because there's some like fixes I needed to make. But also I noticed one thing. Let's go to youtube.com/DronesoundTV, where you probably are now, but if not, you should be, which is cool. Hey, this is a cool channel. Looks like a live stream run by a Raspberry Pi. Yes, it is. Okay. Anyways, thing is, well, you might have noticed I got these cool new dynamic titles. They're changing all the time. I put a clock in there, actually, which I have just for the hell of it. And also it shows like the currently playing track and things like that. I can change this from the chat, which is pretty cool. Actually, let's do that just for the heck of it. I'm going to get back to why we're looking at that. So here's the title command. It's called title. It's only accessible to elite users anyways. But let's say, so I'll just say code sesh. DTV Backend. Okay, and it actually changes the title of the live stream, which is cool. I changed the description too, and I previously said I didn't have a good reason to do that. And then over the last couple of days, I've thought of a good reason to do that. So, I don't know, I might dig into that. Or like I said, look at this thumbnail here. So this is what I was going to talk about. Oh, here, well, refresh the page. I mean, YouTube can't do anything about that, of course. So you see, it's changed the title, which you probably think is, yeah, that's no big deal. Actually, it's kind of a big deal. Turns out it's a major pain in the butt to change the title on YouTube. But I did it. So we have that feature now. Yet another Stage Ghost exclusive. I'm going to start referring to this bot by its proper name, which is Stage Ghost. And it used to be Internet Toy Box. Incidentally, some really early code is available, so to speak, on github.com/diemastermonkey, where you'll find the Stage Ghost project, which disclaims everywhere that it is not ready yet, and it's not. There's a lot of cruft in there, and there's a lot of things you don't really need yet, and also it's missing things you need if you really wanted to run your own DronesoundTV or something like that. But back to this thumbnail. I think this is a problem, not having this reflect what's going on the stream. And I don't mean it has to reflect it constantly, and most people do not. And then I started thinking, well, what should I do with it? Because I'm like tired of switching it around. And sometimes I do beat shows, and sometimes I do code shows, and sometimes it's just the bot by itself. So, you know, what do I show up there? Well, I thought, well, why not dig into how we can just update it in real time, just like we do the title now. And so I might get into that. I have looked at the API. it's not, I mean, it's, the one side of it is definitely doable. I mean, uploading the thumbnail is actually pretty trivial. Well, trivial compared to updating the title, I think. But taking a live screenshot from the stream and then using that for the thumbnail, that's what I'm aiming for. So, anyways, if you're tuned in now or on the replays, thanks for doing it, and here's what we're going to do, I think. Probably. Oh, first though, there's a thing I gotta fix, and it might be interesting to see this. Anyways, I'm gonna use the back end, but it's the same as the front end, to change the theme to, what was the one I was looking at? I think it's tech. And the tech theme has like a jacked up CSS thing that I gotta fix. So look at the notes on, the notes feature is this little pop-up right there that says now playing, and so like you can put a note there anytime you like. All users can do this, I think. Wait, is that true? I might have it locked down to Elite anyways, or subscribers. You can lock any of these commands down to, specific user groups with some level of granularity. Sorry, needed some coffee there. Okay, so anyways, the CSS, that's styled by CSS, of course. And I think it's jacked up in one of the themes. So let's take a look at that theme. Oh, you know what? It might be the wrong one. No, maybe it's fine in that one. How you guys doing? Chime in on the chat. Is something I always say, but I shouldn't. Maybe it's 3, I think, is the one that... Okay, so this is actually good. If you are looking at the GitHub, you'll see there's a directory there called themes. And in there are just the official themes that are available on the channel right now, but they're all just examples of what you can do. This is relevant to relates to the so-called panel server system inside there. I should put those diagrams on the GitHub too, maybe in the README or the wiki. So anyways, you look at these themes, like we'll take a look at the default theme. And you'll see there are just a handful of files in there, and there are CSS files too. So CSS files are specific to each theme, and then there's a global CSS file too. This is pretty predictable, I'm sure. Also, I think worth noting, I think it's kind of funny. So the color commands in the bot, you can use the color commands to change the color of elements on the screen. Often it is like the background of this. No, look, there's the notes. There's a note in this theme, so that's not it. All right, so right now it's 33333. Oh, right, okay. It's the background of the banner up at the top that has the credits. You can just barely see it, but up there you can change that color by using the color command. So I'm just going to remember that it's all 3s. But if I set it to we'll set it to a much lighter gray, all A's, and we'll check back in a minute. Actually, it does errantly say right now that it's playing Good Mama, which it's not. I think I will get some background music here. So anyways, the background music that is played with the background command, these are a manually curated collection of links from SoundCloud of songs that can be downloaded. They have to be marked such that they can be downloaded, or it won't work. Why? Because I'm streaming this off of Raspberry Pi, and it can't be streaming it in and out at the same time. Actually, it's a significant amount of work just for it to download it. Anyways, so it has to be marked for download. I'm thinking about getting around that anyways. Probably find some way. Right now I'm picking out something to play. Okay, so back to the channel, and you'll see that you'll see the background color of that thing up at the top has changed. So when you use the color command, what it does is change this file here, the panel server.rgb file, in the theme that you are currently using. So since we are currently in the, what is this? Three. Oh, because there's three people in this theme. That's why I call it three. If you ever wondered. So I'm going to set the color to actually black. Anyways, in the theme, in the three theme, let me get another shell because that one's busy. You'd think I would have had, I know I had two shells. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, so in the themes directory, as I said, there's the themes. Now I'm going to go into the three theme, which is a directory, and in there are the files. And if the theme needs any access to like local files or whatever, then you stick them in there. So it has these, four, five, six different frames of these people sitting in this lab, and jQuery switches among them. There it is. I was looking for the file. Okay, so in this directory, there's a file called panel server.rgb. And there it is. It's all zeros now because I just zeroed it out. Pardon me. I need more coffee. So that's how the themes work. You get the basic idea, and it's the same model throughout. So there's a BG file in there. This identifies the file, the image that is used for the background, and that's the file that is set by the BG command. So the BG command changes the contents of that file. So all these settings live with the theme, which is cool, right? I know, it's cool. However, one side effect is that one of these themes has got like a jacked up CSS and notes don't look right in it. And now it's like a pain in the ass to find it. Which one is it? It's not telling me what the theme is. It's 3 right now. It's not default. Maybe it's future. Okay, so while we do that, I just changed the theme. So while we wait for that to change, I'm gonna go over here and look at the live broadcasts API. So we're over in developers.google.develop. Jeez, let me start this again. Cut, take 2. In the background, we're going to be hearing Good Mama Mama again. This is from, correction. This is Blunt Tapes. You can find them at SoundCloud. You can find them on SoundCloud. Blunt Tapes, BLUNTTAPES, Blunt Tapes. And I don't know which one this is. They have like a series. It's a whole series. It's pretty cool. So check them out on SoundCloud.com. So we're looking at developers.google.com, the live broadcasts API. Now obviously we already work with this object quite a bit, and you'll see that I've given this documentation a poor rating. I usually give it excellent rating. Maybe I should upgrade it to OK, since I was inevitably able to do what I needed. I'm tempted to tell you what this page, the page about live broadcasts update, doesn't tell you. But I think I'll just let you find out for yourself. Right now it's my competitive advantage. But there are several little gotchas this page doesn't tell you about. Anyways, the live broadcast object is your broadcast, and I know it's confusing. So, trust me, brother, if you've been going through these docs, you've been working with this API, I feel you, okay? At least when you're starting to get started with it, because what the heck, YouTube? There are live broadcasts, there are live streams, and there are live video streams. No, okay, there's just live streams. Yeah, there's live streams and live broadcasts. And there are many properties that are the same amongst them, so you can like set a title on the live stream, and you can also set a title on the live broadcast. And so I don't know what the heck is going on. And it gets and you can expect lots of that in this system. Okay, enough griping about the YouTube API, which actually is generous and is really great. And I'm not bad mouthing. Well, I kind of am bad mouthing it. But okay, so no, I should leave this at 4 because it doesn't tell you that you're going to blow away your description field. All right, so in the update, live broadcast update. Now, you know what? Live streams has an update method too, as well. So, you know, I'm gonna kind of look at that. So what I'm doing here, I'll like just flip down real quick. So I'll go down to live streams API and flip down to the request body section, because I'm only interested in 2 bits of data here of insight. It says that for the resource, you must specify these properties, and then my favorite part is the next part where it says you can set these properties, and that's where I go, oh, cool, please be a big list of things that I can set. But in this case, it's not. It's just the title and the description. So those are things that you can set for a live stream. I mean, I understand the live stream is not the broadcast, that it represents the video archive, but then there's live videos. That's what I was talking about. There's just videos, not live videos. There's just videos. I mean, after the stream, it's just a video, right? Why is there a live stream object? Anyways. Okay, so we're back at live broadcasts. Again, you want to go to developers.google.com/YouTube and get all your stuff there. So I changed themes, right? We're going to jump back to this real quick, and I'm going to add a node to the screen because I'm trying to track down this one that has bad CSS. Okay, so I'm going to come back in a minute and see what the node looks like. You'll see what I'm talking about. That it's like the layout isn't the same as in the other themes. I broke the CSS somehow. Okay, so the endpoint for this part of the API is YouTube. It's googleapis.com/YouTube/v3/live broadcast. You could just call it the live broadcast endpoint. Actually, this is the live broadcast API. Sorry, the update is the endpoint. So update gives you a variety of parameters, and here's my favorite part: request body. You must provide these, and there's a whole big list of them, and it means you can set these. Oh, goody. Description, end time, privacy status, enable monitor stream, DVR. You know what? Okay, it's going to be part of the channel. You know what? What was I thinking? It is. It's going to be part of the channel. So I'm going way back. Way back. Back to not the API Explorer. I don't want to go that far. Channels, here we go. Okay. Oh, channel banners. Oh, that's something else. You know what the channel banner is? It's that thing at the top of your channel, like my channel, youtube.com/DronesoundTV, where you should be, or where you should go to, and then when you go there, click the sub buttons. So it's that thing at the top, the thing that's really annoying to set because they have weird, funky dimensions, and no matter what dimensions you set, they don't work in anything. It's awful. Anyways, I'm not interested in setting that. I'm interested in setting the thumbnail of the live stream. Where do I set that? That can't possibly be here. All right, well, let's take a look at it anyways. I'm looking at channels, update. Oops, no, I'm not. I'm looking at something else. I ended up going somewhere else. Channel banners has nothing to do with it, right? No, it doesn't. All right. Channels update. All right, where are we? update the channel's metadata, blah, 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 blah. I've already done this, actually. We've already used this object as well. I've used pretty much every object in here by now. Tracking image role, what the? Oh, this is for something else. This is for secret CIA stuff you guys don't know about. I'm just kidding. Writing settings, image tracking, banner external URL. What is a banner external URL? Let's check that out. I don't like this branding settings image. I don't like this branding settings part of this, but let's find out what that is anyways. I'm just going to search for branding settings.image.banner external URL. And it says a map of thumbnails associated with the channel. Oh my goodness, this sounds very promising. And there's a resource, JSON. I'll just read the JSON. What the hell? There's a title. It's got a URL published. Likes. Some of these probably is like a type like that. Topic IDs. That's probably it. Type in default tab. Show. Browse view. All right. Properties. So scroll down the page to where you get to properties, and it'll tell you all kinds of what the things in the object are about. And what you're looking for is which of these can you change? I want to remind you we're listening to Blunt Tapes, BLUNTTAPES. Find them at SoundCloud.com, just like I did, by going to SoundCloud.com/BLUNTTAPES, Blunt Tapes, and get blunted, I guess. So there's a thumbnails object here. It describes it as a map of thumbnails object, map of thumbnail images associated with the channel. And it has like information about the object. To default, it doesn't tell you what the thumbnail is used for. How do I set which one is used for the live stream? Oh, I was supposed to be checking the CSS. Pardon me, I just hiccuped right in your face. No, the CSS is, you know what, screw the CSS. All right, I'm sorry. Sorry for that whole big distraction. We're not going to fix the CSS apparently until the next time I see it. All right, video count, details, status linked. Oh God, many settings here, but we want many settings. That's great. Thank you. Unsubscribed trailer. What is that? What is that? Oh, this is the trailer that plays for unsubscribed users. I thought it was like a trailer you could show them when they were unsubscribing. That'd be pretty funny. We're looking for how to set. These are all banners. Maybe I should go back to the live stream. Crap. All right. Live streaming API. There we go. Way back up at the top of the live streaming API. Video asset claim, live stream. I'm assuming the live broadcast is going to be what has the thumbnail, because I don't change that even when I start and stop the stream. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, see, so I'll give you a freebie here if you're using the YouTube API. Something that I think is only mentioned from this one place on this page, and can be pretty confusing at first, is that your live stream video URL is in fact your video ID. So see up here, up in the top, I'm highlighting. Obviously you can't see it, it's teensy tiny on your screen, but I'm highlighting the V parameter in the youtube.com standard watch URL syntax. And so when you need to provide your video ID for a live stream to the API, this is what you use. And that is actually a tough one for a while. It's one of those like, oh no duh. But at first I'm like, what the hell? It does say it though, right here. It says, as such, a live broadcast resource corresponds to exactly one YouTube video resource. In fact, the live broadcast resource and the video resource share the same ID. Okay, so we're back at the live broadcast object, which I really should mark as excellent because I have just beat the crap out of this object. I think everything I think you can do with it except delete and bind. Well, and transition. Okay, I haven't done that, but I've done the other stuff. I've done the control too. It's pretty funny. I don't know what slates are supposed to be used for. YouTube, if you ever watch this, we weren't sure what to use slates for. Maybe because we're not Hollywood people. Hollywood people. Actually, I am Hollywood people, but I still don't know what to use them for. So there's an update, and there is a control. The control is for the slate stuff. It's got to be update, man. This is the one that I marked as poor. And I told you why. It does something counterintuitive. Let's just call it counterintuitive. More is the kind of thing that will have you pulling out your hair. Again, in the background, we're hearing blunt tapes. Find them at soundcloud.com/blunttapes, BLUNTTAPES. Blunt tapes. Do check them out. They're pretty cool. They got like a whole series of tapes there and stuff. Alright, parameters. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So here's the backstory here. I looked all up and down this live broadcast update properties and methods, and this is where you get to this point. And so like you don't see a method that jumps out at you that you're well see. So I was looking at the request body. And I told you my favorite part of this request body part, you get these two sections. Really well done docs, by the way. I do love these docs. But you get the two sections. You must specify these, which is a big ass list, and believe me, they mean it. And the next list says you can set these, and these are the things you get to set, that you get to change, with your code. So that's cool and everything, but I don't see anything here that says content details. I mean, there's content details.enable DVR, right? There's content details.enable embed, but there is no content details a thumbnail image URL or something like that. So that being the case, we're going to jump right into the try this API thing. You know what? Google, you used to have this down in the page, and I think to accommodate mobile, it still is down in the page if your page is like narrow enough. But to accommodate mobile devices, I guess you made it so it pops up in the margin, and man, that is like the most annoying behavior. Because I like the wide version here. Okay, so I'm gonna set the part to snippet. This is wasteful, and you don't do this in production. Later, you set more specifically which fields you want. I'm going to pop open the show standard parameters. We're using this try this API thing that I was just griping about. Yeah, see, that's probably even harder for you guys to see. Now it's over on the right-hand side of the screen. See, try this API. And you can do this with almost all of them. And you should be careful, yes, because I have deleted my streams and stuff. I think I even deleted a channel once. Oh no, not a channel, but you can delete like videos. Yeah, be careful. Okay, so alt, blah blah blah. Okay, so fields, that's cool. You play with that later. In here, they're going to want in the request body, because this is an update. Their updates are implemented with put. So with the list operations, they're gets, and the insert operations are posts. And the update operations are puts, and the delete operations are deletes, I think. So, but this isn't like, there are a few exceptions to this model, but you can pretty much count on this most of the time. Okay, so in here, so in this case, we do not provide the parameters parameters for this API call in the request. Well, they're not provided in the URL. Parameters are provided in the request body in JSON format. So you go in here and you start adding these content details. Now this stipulate, if you read up here, what you need to provide. Remember, I was saying, it says you must specify property for these values. Like I said, they mean it. You know, I might be about to erase my description by accident. And if I do, I want to be able to restore it. So let's take a field trip to the config directory. The config directory holds all these DroneTV dot something files. These are just the configuration files for the whole thing. I mean, they're just that. And these are also the files that you're looking at and in some cases modifying with the CGI bin setup utility. A very primitive utility which is included in the kit right now, but I don't even know if it works without this rest of the other files, but it will work like this. So it just is a listing of all the config files in there, and it avoids users having to go in here and edit them themselves. But, you know, so each of these has a parameter. For example, like most of them are about the sound, actually, like overlap, which is when it's doing the drone sound, how long it waits into one sample before it starts playing another sample so that they overlap. And this is a configurable parameter. And some of the other stuff is like relevant to the API calls. So like the API calls actually need them, like this channel ID, which the user must at some point provide. So we're not going to talk about all these config files because I need to make an actual manifest that describes them all. But I am going to come in here to modify. What did I come in here to modify? There was a reason I came in here. I mean, I just look at the files. The description, right. So the description is also in here. And this isn't because you set it here, as I previously disclaimed extensively. I had no intentions of modifying that from the bot, but I think I might have a good reason to do that now. We haven't gone into that yet, but it might be cool. So the reason it's in the config directory is because in order to update the title, it needs to know what the description is. And I just gave away the game there. But that's what you need to know. If you're going to update your channel's title via the API, you need to know what your channel's description is before you update the title. Just trust me on this. Okay? So anyways, so in content details, we're back in the API Explorer thing. And we got this try the API thing, so we're using that. We haven't set any of the standard request parameters, with the exception of the part. You must set a part, and so I just set a snippet, which is wasteful and you don't do in production. Now we're down in the request body, which in your code you would implement as a JSON put request body. Again, these are puts. I know it's a little exotic, but I remind you that per the HTTP specification that these verbs are completely arbitrary and can even be site-specific. Yes, go read your HTTP spec, the RFC, and you will find that the verbs, aside of the a few standard which are only proposed, I think, I mean the whole thing's a request for comments, the verbs are site-specific. So a put doesn't even have to mean the same thing on your site as it means on other sites. I just think that's an interesting tidbit. All information from a hacker. So we're back in the content details body after my little digression. And I know we're going to have to put in here a content details. Wait, ID. Crap, I have to put the ID first. Okay, so see where it says ID? I guarantee you that's the ID of the video. And I guarantee the first time you'll be like, ID? What, the live stream ID? The broadcast ID? No, it's this. It's that video ID I was telling you, right? So, anyways, just saying. That's going to be that might be a little gotcha, and you'll be like, where the heck do I get this? Anyways, that's where it comes from. So in the snippet is where you're going to set your update. That's right, I already knew this. And we're going to set our description. So the reason I came in here was to see if one of the things when I popped this up, when I popped up the fields that can be added to the snippet field. Oh God, jeez. if one of them was, yes, thumbnails, score. And in thumbnails, there is a default standard high res. Oh my goodness, I already know how to do this. I have set the thumbnail for a video. It's like super crusty code somewhere. I think it was before I even had the bot working, before I had the chat part working. Okay, cool. So you set the height and the URL. Okay, so this is one half of it. Yes, half. This is how we would update. I mean, I'm just trying to explore how we would do this. I haven't figured out how to do this yet. So this is how we would update the live video image. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it just for the heck of it, right? Why not? We try. I don't think you want to do this in practice, of course. I'm just gonna rip this image right off YouTube. I imagine they probably permit it since it came from them. So, hey, I'm looking at the parameters on this image. It has parameters. And I was noticing you can set the height. I wonder what happens if you blow up a little tiny image like huge. I know you're thinking, it's gonna look like crap, duh. And I'm like, oh, really? Cool. Because we like things that look like crap around here. Actually, it seems to be limited. It wouldn't zoom in any bigger than a certain size. Well, that's interesting. Enough for that. So I think I'm going to use this URL as the thumbnail. And let's see, snippet. And also in the snippet, height and width. Why would I? Oh, well, we were just setting those. We see how those get used. They apparently get passed to. This is kind of interesting. So they apparently get passed to this. They get passed to their JPEG handler, which clearly is not a JPEG, obviously, in any sense, but rather a dynamic handler, a program, quite literally. And JPEG Q equals 90. What's JPEG Q? JPEG quality? What if I set it to JPEG quality 0? You shouldn't use 0 because sometimes 0 is means disabled. JPEG quality 1. I can't tell. Yes, I'm trying to make the image look like crap. And why does it say JPEG 444 equals true? What's a JPEG 444 equals false? What's that do? Nothing. Boring. Alright. That's boring. That's another time I get bored. Now there's probably something in there. This is not a hacking show. Which is not a show I do. Okay, so adding more to the snippet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to set the title. Yep, there it is, the title. I'm going to set it to code Sesh continues. Actually, I probably should say something more specific, like YouTube code Sesh, since people don't know what kind of shit goes on here. Okay, I set the title to YouTube API code Sesh continues on DronesoundTV. Exclamation point. So when this works, if it works, then we'll know because you'll see the stream update. Okay, so let's go. So you execute, and I got a 200, which, by the way, doesn't always mean that it successfully set what you were trying, implemented the change that you were trying to do. It doesn't always mean that. It just means the call succeeded. So you need to look at the things. I mean, on most errors, yeah. Hey, there we go. YouTube API code Sesh continues on DronesoundTV or on DTV, which I knew would be the case. I'm going to scroll down. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll leave this up on the screen. And I'm even going to, I have a viewer? Why do I have a viewer? I just said I was going to take a break. Well, rewind, the DVR works. I've been having some very interesting conversations here. Anyways, I'm going to leave the screen up because I want you to look at it. And notice now that we've programmatically updated the title using the API, live streaming API, live broadcasts update method, which you will find over at the developers.google.com site. Note that now that we have updated the title, that there is something else that has changed about this live stream. And while I'm out on a break, updating my coffee, and I'll be right back. I want you to think about what that is. while you listen to Blunt Tapes from SoundCloud.com, SoundCloud.com/BluntTapes, BluntTapes. Check them out on SoundCloud, and we'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, and we're back. Why do I say we when it's just me? Hold on a second. I got messed up the mic. Hello. Okay, here we go. You know what? I just realized I completely neglected to even look at the stream thumbnail, which is what the whole point of that was. All right, let's go to youtube.com/DronesoundTV, and let's see. Drum roll, please. No, it did not. See, that's what I was saying, remember? I was just saying, you know, when it comes back to 200 okay, it doesn't mean it necessarily did what you hoped it was going to do. So like your thing successfully executed, yes. Damn you, computer. Do what I mean, not what I say. Alright, so what's wrong with this? It succeeded. It updated the title. So what's wrong with this is thumbnails is not what I think it is, right? Right? Or maybe it doesn't work without a height and a... No, that's nonsense. So why would I need that? I mean, it's showing an image, right? I don't know if there was an error when it got back to that JPEG handler thing. The thing is, so thumbnails is an array, right? I mean, each thumbnail object in the thumbnails array. You see what I'm talking about? YouTube, this is like not easy to show my audience anymore. Okay, there we go. Now you can see the whole thing. Sorry about the extra screen spam here. Okay. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, so thumbnails is an array. And inside that, there are thumbnails for several different contexts, right? Like, so there's default, high, max res, medium. Thus far, I've set standard. I should set default. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Holy crap, do you know what I just did? I used the image from the live. It did work. It probably did work. Yeah, that's what happened. You know what? I used the image from the, you know what the test image was? It was the image of the live stream broadcast. So in other words, I'm like, I wonder if I could replace this X with an X. What? It didn't work. It still says X. You get it? You get what happened there? That was stupid. Okay. So we're going to need another image to use for the test here. Any other image will do. Wait. Did it change it? Maybe it changed it and I didn't even notice because I was like, oh, that's my thumbnail, but it's the wrong thumbnail. It's a different thumbnail. No, it's not. It didn't change it. This was all that was all a goose chase. Okay, it didn't change it. You know what? I think this should be not standard. I think perhaps there's like a rule, and I'm not going to bother reading it. But I bet there is. That says if you only set one, it must be default. So I just changed it from standard to default, but the rest of the call is the same. And I'm going to change the title so that I can tell that it has actually worked. Now we're going to execute the request, and it works, and we got a response. There's no errors, but again, that doesn't always mean what you think it means. Has been my discovery. And it didn't do it. Why did it not do it? Why? Oh. I remind you that in the background we are listening too much in the background. We are listening to Blunt Tapes, BLUNTTAPES. Find them at soundcloud.com/blunttapes. And give them just a second here. Incidentally, I'm still technically on break. I realized when I stepped away, I was like, oh crap, I never even checked. Of course, I couldn't resist. Alright, now we're going to get spammy. I'm going to add the same URL for the standard. Maybe there has to be a height. I don't know. Let's try this first. First, I'm going to try adding a maximize standard and a default. So now both a standard and a default. And there's supposed to be a URL parameter in there. And yeah, we don't know whether we have to set the, dimensions of the image, but there are height and width parameters for each thumbnail. I'm hoping they're optional. Don't really want to set those if I have to. Okay, the rest of this looks like it's not really relevant. Okay, so this is the same, so I just executed the exact same request, except it also included a default and a standard. It included both a default and standard thumbnails. Now I'm actually going to look at the response. It says it updated the title, and I think it did. Yeah, it did. And it wiped out the description too, which is something I've intimated previously. So, again, that's the whole thing. Nope. I don't know. There are height and width parameters in the response. That means on the server, those objects have height and width parameters. Am I required to set these? What if I just set them to funky values? I mean, it shouldn't matter. I don't care if they look ugly. I just care that they have something. Okay, I'm going to set the height and width to 120 on both of them. Because I don't care. Maybe 220 on the other one. Why 220? Because it's easier than typing 200. See, finger's already on the 2. Okay, now we're going to hit execute. We get an OK, everything goes back. I get a response. It did, yeah, well, here's something. I could probably assume it didn't update the thumbnail images if the thumbnail images if the dimensions are not what I set them to. Oh man, this is a bummer. Okay, so, and this is only the half of it, right? The other half is getting a screenshot from the live stream. So, now, okay, it can't be, you know what's weird is it's updating the title and not the images, So, I mean, this must be the right object, right? It must be. Again, I'm looking, I know we already looked at it, but I'm going to look at the live stream's update method. But I just freaking know there's nothing in there. Yeah, you can set the title and description, that's it. That's all. And then there's the channels, but channels you set thumbnails for. There's a thumbnails, oh God. There's also a thumbnails API. And you can set, and you set a video ID. Oh, gosh. All right, well, let's try this thing. Oh, there might not be a try it for this one. There isn't. Yeah, some of these, not all of these, have a thing where you can try it. I think it's a post, and oh crap, and you have to give it a thumbnail resource. What the frack is a thumbnails resource? Tell me that it wants a URL, please. Well, it just shows us it's showing us the JSON representation of the thumbnails resource, which we are now intimately familiar with, having messed with it in that other API. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Properties, default, URL, excellent. So it's the same as that. The JSON format. Well, it is. Those are thumbnail objects. Okay, so you get a thumbnails, and you do a set, and you get a video ID. I'm wondering, okay, what about the other half though? What about getting the screen? I mean, I can see that I'm probably gonna nail this. It's probably thumbnails set. It's gonna take a little longer to test because there's no try thing for this thing. But I think this is pretty straightforward. I mean, this is just a post. It's like the live stream or live chat messages post that we already use. Yeah, it's pretty good talks. Oh, we no longer have music. Let me toss on some Green Dutch here. DronesoundTV is a big fan of Green Dutch, The Green Dutch. You should check him out at soundcloud.com/TheGreenDutch. TAGGREENDUTCH. We're about to be hearing a track called My Buddy SP Beat Battle. You should check it out. Check him out at soundcloud.com/TheGreenDutch. TAGGREENDUTCH. The Green Dutch. With that, I'll